So the lie starts. It begins when we're young. It begins by association. It begins by who we associate with within the system. And the system has lied to us. The system is meant to give us things. The system was meant to educate us. The system was meant to make us wealthy. The system was meant to give us a nutritious, healthy, sustainable body. And the system was meant to fill us with the spirituality that gave us meaning, gave us purpose. But it lied. The system wasn't meant to drug us, numb us, and sedate us. But it has. We surround ourselves with the things that are meant to make us feel great. But inside there's a yearning. Because we know inside there's something missing. We've known all the time there's something missing. And we surrounded ourselves and fitted into this system. This way of fitting in, being like everybody else. This way of being ordinary. No matter what you've got, if it's still ordinary inside, it's not going to satisfy you. Without having it all, without having everything that we want, there is a place, there's a piece that's missing. There are brief moments of peace. There are brief moments of joy. There are brief moments of excitement. But inside there's something lacking. Inside there's something missing that we know is missing. So we surround ourselves with people the same. We surround ourselves by association with those that have no purpose and no meaning. And we live at a level below kings and queens that we're meant to be. And we all accept it. And we live that life. Everybody else that we associate with makes it okay. But it's not okay. It's never been okay. And I experienced the same thing, but one day I woke up. One day I created an awakened revolution. And I associated with revolutionaries, with those that wanted to be outside the system, to be in the system but not of the system, to find ways to have it all. When we surround ourselves with people that accept us for who we are, for what we are, and we discover what that is and we show that in truth, we now connect. In truth, we're now surrounded with revolutionaries like ourselves who tell the truth, who stand by the truth, who live by the truth. And from that place, now we can build. Now we can build a life that we actually want. Now we can build something that's built on a solid foundation. Now we can build something that is real, to find the fitness and health, to gain and master the skills of having that awesome, magical marriage where intimacy, connection is there, following in the same direction, having the same goals. To create in a business, not just an ordinary business, but one that 10x's, 20x's, that grows massively. To provide for your family, to give your family the things that it requires, the experiences, the education, the travel, the connections and associations, because your life is defined by your associations. And you either rise with them or you fall to them. You decide. And that's why it's a revolution. That's why you have to awaken and become part of the awakened revolution to find those things that you're seeking in life. So we get lost, and one day we wake up and we wonder, where did our life go? When I found myself in that place where none of it made sense. And I realized, despite everything that I had, I wasn't happy. I realized It was me. It wasn't the things around me. It was me that I had to change. It was me that I had to alter. It was me that had to become more. Because the person that had built what I had wasn't the person that could build the things that I actually wanted. And when I realized that, that's when it all altered. That's when I awakened. That's when the revolution began. And as I got that, I realized there were people like me out there. Those that wanted to wake up. Those that weren't satisfied with just how it is, or how it has to be, or how it's supposed to be. They wanted more. They wanted a lot more. And that's when the revolution began. I realized that I built an empire but I didn't have a kingdom. I built a business but I didn't have family. A one-dimensional man. And in that one dimension I was fulfilled, but in the 5 others, I was empty and hollow. For years, I'd lied to myself. I told myself that I had it, that life was good. The business was going great. She was happy. The kids were good, that it was all there. And then one day I realized when a crack started to appear, there was something missing. Because until you get it, until you really understand, until you wake up, you awakened to the fact that no matter how good you are in one area of your life, if you don't have those others, it's never going to fulfill you. And I had to realize through the pain of losing it all, the pain and not seeing my wife and not seeing my children, the pain of losing the business. In that pain, that's where you find it. That's where you wake up. And the Awakened Revolution is about going through that, and just like I did. And you have to wake up and find that life is right here, right in front of you. And you've got to be hungry for it. And the only way you're going to find it is to push, is to go beyond whatever you're comfortable with. Because comfort gets you normal. Comfort gets you what everybody else has. Comfort gets you divorced. Comfort gets you retiring with not enough money. Comfort gets you a body that's going to kill you by the time you're 60. And comfort gets you a business that just struggles. Because you're too frightened, too scared, too alone to go out there and make it happen. That's when I realized that to have it all, to have everything that we want, we've got to come back to one elemental truth. And that is, we've been lying to ourselves. Telling ourselves a lie about where we are, what we have, and making it okay. You know, a friend came to me and said, "Wow, you've got an amazing life, but that's not for me." And I said to him, "That's because you're too scared, too frightened to break away, to break out of where you are right now, to have something different. To let go of normal, to let go of ordinary, to let go of normality. There is always a place to be better. Here, in this association, in this revolution, I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care how much sex you've had. I don't care how successful your business is. Because that's not the measure. That's not the measure of someone who's awakened. Because we've done that all too. It's whether you can have it all. Whether you're achieving and pushing and going beyond the boundaries in every area of your life. Where you feel alive. Where you feel like life is right here, right present, right here in front of you. Every single moment of every single day. You're ready to eat it up. That's where life is. Not in some figment or imagination of what you think it is. See, I get it. I lied to myself. I lied to myself all the time and told myself it was okay, that my level of fitness wasn't fantastic, that my body wasn't ripped, that my marriage was okay because I was out working and providing. But that wasn't okay with her. And that my kids were okay because I was sending them to school, and that school was going to do the job that I should be doing. Stepping up and educating them, showing them what life actually is, teaching them about philosophy, spirituality, about business, about being a good person. That's why these people here in the Awakened Revolution realize life comes back to one person and one person only. That person is standing here right now. And that's why you're still listening to this video. Because you hear the truth resonating from my experience. And from that experience, you can find your own way. From that experience, that's where you'll find the piece that's missing. Because the piece that's missing is you. And it's only you. And when you finally come to it, when you finally realize that no one can make it any better, there's no one you can sleep with, there's no drug you can take, there's nothing you can smoke, there's no level of not stepping up, being lazy, sitting on your butt that's ever going to make you okay with the fact that you're not living the full life of having it all. Nothing is going to make that okay. In my experience, when I stepped up, when I pushed the boundaries of what is okay, when I pushed the boundaries of what I was comfortable with, that's where life came. That's where your life can come.
We go around with blinkers on. We think we're killing it. I've said things a year ago that I haven't changed. So, coming today, it's made me accountable, and to, I'm looking forward to the next 90 days. I've made some big statements.
Absolutely life-changing. I've learned so much since I've been on my own again, and today, about myself and how I can change and be a better version of what I am.
I'm going to achieve it, and I'm going to enjoy the satisfaction of actually achieving what I set my heart and my mind to.
Being numb, just going through the motions of thinking that, I'm doing the right thing and not paying, worried about selfish. I've been selfish.
I have been giving myself permission to have excuses. There's no more excuses because the only person that I'm hurting is myself.
Stop lying. Stop lying. Every single day, we lie to ourselves. Every single day, we tell ourselves lies. And every single day, we tell others lies as well. And that's how we cover up our greatness. I don't know about you, but I'm sick to death of living at half my capacity. And the reason you're living at half your capacity is you tell lies. There's a huge mismatch in our society today We've forgotten what it's like to have fire in our bellies. Not momentarily, not at work, not when we're working out, not when we're on a bike ride, every single moment of every single day. We don't know how to forge a sword anymore. We've forgotten that skill. That's what makes us men, that we can do that. And they want it. You've forgotten what it's like to have your own power. Because the truth is, we've all been suppressed. We've been suppressed for centuries. We've been asleep for centuries. It all started in the kingdoms that were created thousands of years ago. And we were peasants and servants in those kingdoms. And we served in those kingdoms. And we went to war in those kingdoms. And we died and fought for others. And we didn't know what it was like to have our own kingdom. But in this day and age, we are kings and queens, but we don't know how to be kings and queens anymore. We've forgotten, and we have to bring it back. And a big change happened at the beginning of the 19th century. There was a huge change because there were 2 world wars that happened. And we went off and we fought those wars. And we died in those wars. But the ones that didn't die, the ones that came back broken, injured, and not sure. Because it was like, if that's what it is to be a man and go out there and slaughter, literally slaughter millions, then I don't want it. Some of you in the room remember your fathers in the war and what they came back like. And that continued on because they'd forgotten. They didn't want it, so they stepped down. And when they stepped down, something else had to happen. You had to step up. And you're still doing it now. It's cultured in now. It's become a cult of half men and women not knowing what the hell to do. 70% divorce rate should tell us it has to change. 10-year-old kids on meth should tell us it has to change. Because there's no leadership anymore. Who's in charge? Nobody friggin' knows. We fight over it in the family. And the family, which is meant to be the kingdom, falls to pieces. And it's not just us that suffer, our children suffer. Because they look at us and they're going to repeat the same pattern again. They're going to go out and do exactly the same thing. And what we're handing down to them is a shattered kingdom. And it has to stop.
I think I'm really going to look at my behaviour towards my children and the amount of time that I haven't been spending with them. Got 3 kids and life can get really busy. So I've really got to make it a priority to spend time with them individually. You know, I don't spend enough time with them to really get to know who they are. You just spend time with them, you know, running around the sport or picking them up from school, but it's not really quality time.
I miss the small things. It was easier to focus on the big ones. It was easier to conquer my fitness and to conquer my business than to notice the small moments, the small interactions. But then as I did, I started to see that those moments in my spirituality connected to my business, the moments with my children connected to my marriage and my lustfulness towards my beautiful wife, and those small moments working out, getting that fitness where I needed it, really needed it, and my health impacted me across all areas. And then as it came together, I wasn't a one-dimensional man anymore. It became 6 dimensions. And out of that came a kingdom restored. A king in his rightful place. A queen in her rightful place. Supporting him, but with her own power. Power to create. Power to lead. Power to bring it all together. together in your life, together as a revolution, together with your revolutionaries surrounding you, supporting you on this journey, measuring everything in your health, in your fitness, in your marriage, dating and seducing your wife, in lusting after your husband, in 4Xing your business, by integrating marketing, persuasion, systems, knowing how to measure your fitness, knowing how to measure your health, and bringing it all together in a powerful experience. That's the revolution. Let's hear from somebody. Why are you here? What do you want? One of the biggest problems that people have is defining exactly what is holding them back. We can't be truthful with ourselves, and hence we can't be truthful with others. Knowing exactly what it is that we want, we just can't be that honest. We can't get down to what actually we are, what actually we've created ourselves to be, and how to actually own that, because unless we own it, unless we can claim it, unless we can claim the darkness within us, we cannot bring the light to it. And that is going to stop us from moving forward. Because if we don't have pillars in our life, if we don't have pillars that we base ourselves on, the truth about ourselves, then we cannot possibly move forward. Everything will be based on a castle of sand. And that is what happens with most people. We tell ourselves these lies about our life, and when we try and move forward, it's up and down, because there is no solid base of truth within our life. That's what we have to master. And all of us need to work out who I need to be. What does that look like? Because it's in you already. It's there. It's been there. It's created things. It's done things at other times in our life. You created a massive business. You can do it again. True?
True.
How are you going to 4X your business? I'm not talking about just improving it. You could do that. You could step up and make that happen. True or false?
True.
Because you won't risk losing the relationship. True or false?
I'm feeling in a better place since the last ignite.
True or false?
I'm absolutely true.
Thank
you.
See how conditioned we are to lie. The level of honesty that you're going to get in AR with the revolutionaries is unfounded. You won't find it anywhere else, because part of the path that we set up for ourselves is no more BS. The level of truth has to be outstanding for you to get what you want.
It's because I work in a fairly high-stressed industry, and I bring that home with me, unfortunately. I'm passionate about what I do for my work and being a volunteer firey. So, unfortunately, in the previous relationships, the relationship's been in the background, and I do what I do and then make time for the relationship. That has to turn itself around somewhat.
I have been allowing my ego to tell me that I'm not worthy and I'm not good enough to do it. And so then I self-sabotage and don't end up doing anything. I'm going to be working with my business and following through with the commitments that I make.
Truth. Truth that we can't tell ourselves. Truth that other people can't tell us because they're frightened to hurt us. Truth that our children don't have the words to tell us. Truth that our wife or husband want to tell us but can't find the words. Truth that is based on not what we know, but who we know. Surrounding ourselves with those people who keep us where we are. Not a new truth, but a truth that we're stuck with. Not a new truth that we can discover when we expand, when we grow, when we become more. A truth that we find in this revolutionary brotherhood and sisterhood. Truth that can be told, truth that can be accepted, truth that is held in the heart and accepted by them and by us.
I plan to be a politician, whether that's in politics or whether that's leading other people to be in politics. We'll find out. I want to be in the system to change the system. I've had excuses that I'm not worthy of bringing that message out. It's me that has to show other people how it's done. And if I can show that, they can follow me.
a new place, a new way, a new path through the 4 pillars. That's where we find the truth. Part of what makes the Awaken Revolution so intense is our focus on the 4 pillars of life. Me, focused in on that. Money, meaning, and marriage. And using those pillars as the foundation of building a life that you actually want. You see, if you accept ordinary, if you mix and surround yourself with ordinary, then that's the level to which you will settle. And the truth is, most people settle in life, but not in the revolution. The revolution is about more. What do you want? What do you really, really want? And why aren't you going for it? Why aren't you finding that fire inside of you? Why aren't you bringing that alive? This is your weapon. This is your sword. It's different for them. If this isn't shaped the way you want it, you have no power because you won't believe in yourself. What I'm asking for isn't for everybody. If you don't want to do it, I'm okay with that. But if you do want to do it, you need to step up, and you need to step up now.
I'm going to put the relationship first and not my feelings of being right or wrong. I don't know, you look back on the year and setting up the goals today in the course, and it just hit me why didn't we complete our budget? Why didn't we complete our goals together? Why didn't we do the things we said we were going to do? Because things like our ego got in the way. We'd have a fight about something. So that really resonated with me, that I have to be aware that the relationship needs to come first. It's all right to be to not agree, but we just have to agree to not agree and put ourselves first. Yeah, we need to grow up. Well, I do anyway, so I'm going to grow up.
No more kidding yourself. No more telling lies. It's when we step up to that level. It's when we step up above what we ever have before. You can try it at home, but it doesn't work because I know you've already tried it. You've already tried doing it. See, try doesn't get anything. Try never gets anything at all. It's those that take action. It's those that do something. It's implementation that makes the difference to your life.
The communication that's been made in there, and the biggest difference that has been for me is because I have already done plans. I have already got my goal, and I've got my spreadsheets, and I've got them all done, but it's putting it in place and making a daily plan that it is feasible.
I know everything. Everything's here. It's just being made aware that I'm not doing it, being reminded that it's what I want to do. Why aren't I doing it?
And that was the baby one. Anger and power. No. Nope. The reason you can't go through it is you don't have a big enough reason. You don't have a big enough reason.
From today, I'm not going to be making excuses. that I've always hidden behind the fact that I'm trying to get other people to do things, but really it's me that has to change. It's me that has to bring these things forward.
What is the reason to go through this? Is it family? Is it country? Is it your brothers? What is it? Yeah! I feel the emotion of it because you've suppressed it for so long because of what you witnessed growing up. Let it come up. Don't suppress this. And she needs it. She needs that leadership.
I have to be true. I have to be myself, the person who doesn't have excuses, tells the truth, a person who is prepared to protect their family.
Her doubt is your doubt. Their doubt is our doubt. Their doubt is our doubt. When we don't step up, when we don't find this, and we don't give them this, they have no power to go out. Their power comes from us. Yes?
Yes.
Who's up?
The skills that got you here today are not the skills that get you the revolutionary life. Most revolutionaries come here with a marriage that is broken, or one that is just there as a shell, not actually being lived. Others come with bodies that are broken from years of abuse, from years of not eating right, from years of not taking care of it the way that it should be taken care of. Others come with their businesses that have ground to a halt, perhaps going backwards, or maybe they're just bored. That zest, that fire has gone out and they're looking to find it again. Still others come because of what has happened in their religion and they're not sure what it means. In fact, there's no meaning to life. What is it actually all for? Why are we doing it? And then they leave with clear direction, clear purpose as a king and a queen within their kingdom, re-establishing their marriage, re-establishing the family, re-establishing the business, re-establishing themselves in their fitness, in their health, re-establishing their purpose in life. And they go home and bring that to their warrior man or their goddess. Right cross, go. That's better.
While I was boxing, that moment I realized that I stopped and I put my guard down and they keep hitting me and I'm not even doing anything.
Come on, let it out, let it out.
And I realized that I think actually I have the power, I have the strength, but I'm not doing it.
Let's go, let the rage out, come on. Let all that humiliation out. That's it. Let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out, let it out. Come on. That's it, more! There's more in there. There's more in there. Come on. Come on. That's it. When that rage is not used to crush, when that rage is not used to dominate, when that rage is not used against her, then there's power. It has to be focused. It has to be used for the right purpose. And up until now, in a lot of times, in a lot of cases, I suggest to you, as a brother, you've been using it in the wrong way. It's now time to bring it as a force for good.
Bring the goodness in what I do with my strength.
This is where it comes home to you, creating that kingdom, building on the code, building on the shield, building on the path that leads to the place you've been searching for. The place of a king and a queen within their kingdom. A six-dimensional life, not a one or two-dimensional life. A place where you come home and it feels like your kingdom. What if there was a different way? What if there's a different way instead of having to face all that crap? Because business is hard. It's difficult. Running around putting out fires all the time, it's really hard. But what if there was a different way? What if there was a code, a shield, and a castle that you can rely on that would show you the way through that? What if you had that? Because the truth is, divorce is really expensive. Really expensive.
running around rescuing your kids because you weren't there is really expensive. Rescuing your son or daughter out of a drug addiction is really expensive. Trying to get your daughter away from sleeping with an older man is really expensive. That's what's expensive. That's what's painful. And it's just sad when people come out of this event and they're like, bro, why didn't I do this ages ago? Man, this is the best thing I've ever done. And I'm like, yeah, of course it is. I wish that too.
Oh, it's life-changing.
It's amazing.
It's a fantastic feeling being here today.
It's changed my life. I was asleep.
From today's event with Brett, hands down, just get into it.
Just do it, because Brad, he's big on doing the right action all the time and truthful. The thing about him is that he tells it as is and he doesn't muck around.
It really does put you on the right track. Yeah, do it for yourself.
Drinking smoothie every day, no coffee and no alcohol.
So none.
No.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey, yeah. Oh, I did it for 6 months last year.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Cool. Awesome. So with all this going on, you've taken your eye off the game. Taking your eye off the business, taking your eye off the family, taking your eye off your spirituality, taking your eye off yourself, and what's going on inside. And it's easy to do. It's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to get lost in this world. But this is where the rubber hits the road. This is where the conversation gets real. This is where we talk about not thinking about things, because it's easy to think about things. Lots of people think about stuff. Lots of people think about improving their health. Lots of people think about forexing their business. Lots of people think about the problems in their marriage. This is a conversation now, like this conversation. Because this conversation is about getting out there and taking action. Dying for your family. Dying to protect them. See, in the revolution, we live by a code. And the code is tell the truth. To yourself and to everybody else. To do the right thing. Beyond thought, beyond emotion. And thirdly, the code is to love and protect your family. So what will you do? What action will you take to step up, king and queen in your kingdom, to protect your family? Because they died to protect their families. They stepped up when they were called to die for their family. What action will you take to protect your family? Is it just a conversation? Is it just a thinking about it? Is it just I like that? Or are we at a point now in your life where there's no more talking, there's no more thinking, there is just action? Because that's what it's about in the revolution. It's taking action. And that time is either right for you right now, and if it is, there's a link to click right here. To put your name, put your email address, fill in the application form, answer the questions, and take action right now. And that will lead to a conversation, an ongoing conversation where you'll get great clarity. You'll get to know the way that they took, the way that we all need to take now to reclaim our kingdoms, to reclaim that life that is not the ordinary life, but the life that you actually want. Here today, in this moment, you either live or you die. Choose.
I would say that you've had nothing to lose, but everything to gain.
To be part of the revolution has actually given me the spark back that I lost.
I've done so many workshops. I'm keep coming back here, and I will come back here still another probably 20, 30 times you guys together. Just feel it and bring it out.
really makes you grounded and clear on where you want to be and where you want to go, and what's important for yourself.
Being around like-minded people that want to make a difference, to have people around you of that calibre, it's really exciting, yeah, it is. It's exciting and daunting because there's no hiding.
Wake up, stop living your life as if you're asleep and using those excuses to stay in a safe zone, and actually expand who you are, expand to who you should be, and start living your life. Being part of the revolution is actually giving me back to me.
So what do you do? What do you do if you're beyond thinking about it? You take action. You fill out your name and your email, and you take action. Because action leads to results. Action leads to real. Action leads to raw. Action leads to what these people have been doing, these revolutionaries have been doing. It leads to measurable, actual results. Having it all in every area of life. Basing it on the code. Telling yourself the truth. Doing the right thing. Loving and protecting your family. Based on the pillars. Based on the castle and protecting that castle. Using the shield. And when we do these things, that's when it all happens. There is a no more think about it conversation. There is a no more Brett, that would be nice. Now once you complete the application, this is what's going to happen next. We're going to have a real, a raw, truthful conversation about where you're at in your life. And if we can get real and we can get raw together, then that conversation is going to lead to an invitation to come here. To begin that journey of restoring your kingdom, of bringing it all back, of bringing your business, your health, your fitness, your marriage, your spirituality, all of it back again. And we'll see if you're a fit, because you may not be. And if you're not, the conversation will at least set out for you a path, a way of having that, of leading in a direction. So it'll be real, it'll be raw, and I hope you're open to it. So if you are, fill out the form. Let's get it done. Let's make it happen. No more crap. No more talking. It's now. Now is the time. Click the button, you'll go to the form, fill out the form using your truth, being real with me, being real with yourself. And then we'll see. So if my words have touched your soul, then I call on you, I challenge you, I ask you to step up as a fellow revolutionary, to become part of a movement, become part of something that is going to be bigger than you. So I remember a friend's life, a dear friend, and he suffered a terrible accident. But before he did, his life was built around his business. His life was built around being great in business. His life was built around his fitness. His life was built around not being able to satisfy himself in his marriage. So he went to the toys, he went to the bikes, he went to the motorbikes. And that's where he had the accident. And he ended up in a wheelchair. And he asked me why. Why did this happen? Why me? Why did this happen to me? And I had no answer for him. Shit happens. Stuff happens. There was no answer. And our lives went in different directions. It's hard. in business. It's tough in business. But he quit. He gave up. And soon after that, he was dead. But I pushed, and I kept pushing. I learnt the code. I used the shield. I found the pillars, and I stepped up in every area of my life. And I pushed my fitness. I used all those things. And I call on you. Because whether you come or you don't come is not of interest to me, will not affect me. But I guarantee you one thing, it is the utmost interest to you.